Howdy do y'all, this is John, and today we are talking about Disclosure Day, a new movie out in theaters right now. And in Disclosure Day, it deals with this program that's been going on since the 1940s to uncover extraterrestrial artifacts, bodies that all crash to Earth, as well as, footage, video of said alien encounters. However, a bunch of people who work for this program disagrees with withholding it from the public, and they decide to be whistleblowers and steal, a bunch of archive video files, that kind of stuff, from this program with the intent to leak it to the public. Cue a couple people getting weird powers from these aliens, and we have a movie. Now, to get things started, first and foremost, what I liked about the movie, I do think that the bulk of the actors do a good job with their performances, such as Josh O'Connor and Emily Blunt. Both of them do a good job. With Emily Blunt, she does deliver a powerhouse of her performance. Definitely one of the best in her career, as she is playing, her character. I believe her name is Margaret Fairchild. In addition to that, they also make it abundantly clear why these people want to leak it to the public, because there is some sketchy stuff going on within this program. However, they also touch on what would, the public's response be to something like this. Because as we all know, humans react to funny things. When first contact does finally happen, or at least when, it gets revealed that happened, humans are going to react to that in crazy ways. And it is something that they do touch on in this movie, explore what the morals would be for leaking this to the public. Because we all know, when stuff like that gets leaked to the public, to the people, reactions are just crazy. Y'all remember the Edward Snowden incident like 11 years ago? I think it was 11, 12 years ago. Yeah, the responses to that were crazy. And I remember, I was still in school at the time. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was pretty divided over it. This movie is kind of a similar situation, except with aliens, and that would most likely be more chaotic. As far as the story goes, the story is fine. It's kind of a standard political thriller. However, they do add in at least enough new stuff to it that prevents it from being boring, and also prevents it from being too generic. You obviously have your familiar tropes. They add aliens to this, however, and they also, kind of add in a couple moments that reminded me of other Spielberg movies, like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and there's also one scene that reminds me a little bit of Duel. So yeah, it's not the most original story in the world, but they add at least enough new things to it that prevents it from feeling generic. And as far as, does it, remain entertaining throughout the whole movie? The answer is yes. The movie's 2.5 hours long, but it did not, feel boring or anything like that. You're continuously wanting to know what happens next, and you're just, for the most part, just glued entirely to that screen, to the big screen. However, I would also argue that this is not one of Spielberg's best movies at all. One thing worth, mentioning, is the fact that, I don't know why, but since War of Worlds, the special effects in Spielberg's movies have not been the greatest. War of the Worlds was the last time we saw a Spielberg movie with truly great effects. Immediately after that was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which had good miniatures but very bad CGI. And ever since then, that has kind of been the trend with Steven's movies. I don't know why, but it is. The CGI in this movie, while it's not the worst, you notice it every time it's on screen. From poorly rendered animals to poorly rendered aliens to poorly rendered UFOs. You notice them every time. And also, while Margaret Fairchild is not a bad character, I do like the Margaret Fairchild character. Josh O'Connor's character, I don't even remember his name. I think it was Daniel or something like that. Dude's kind of a nincompoop. Like, he knows the main bad guy can get in people's heads, literally. However, someone like him, someone who's what they call an experiencer, he can't do that. So what does he do? He tags along with his girlfriend, which, yeah, I get you want your girlfriend to be safe and stuff, but when you know the main villain can do stuff like that, you probably shouldn't have a partner with you at all. And another thing worth noting is that the film does feel a little naive. These people have this idea that, if they leak it to the public, the government won't try to claim that they're fake or, copyright strikes or anything like that. Anything to prevent this stuff from being seen. Here's the kicker. Unless it's something irrefutable, like the Snowden files, they're gonna do that anyway. They do this all the time. There's stuff that's leaked all the time. And even if it's clearly not faked, they still say it's faked. So yeah, I don't buy that aspect of the movie at all. So guys, at the end of the day, Disclosure Day, no, it's not one of Spielberg's best movies. However, I do think that's a good movie. I do think it's an enjoyable movie. Nothing great, though. It's got a good cast. I like the character of Margaret Fairchild. It's got a good cast. I do like the character of Margaret Fairchild. The story is, while it's not the most original, it's done well. And they do add in some new flavors to it. It's a fun, entertaining movie. It's not the greatest, though. It's definitely hampered by bad CGI, naive logic, and also, while one of the main characters is an interesting character, the other just seems like an nincompoop. I will say this, though. If you guys are interested in this movie, go right ahead and check it out. I'm going to give Disclosure Day a 7. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Please look forward to more videos real soon. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. Please don't forget I also have a secondary channel where I do gaming content. Please go check it out. And as per usual, please remember, the Pocket Dead Ski will return.